Does this sound familiar to you? Long hours, trading time for money, not truly focusing on why you actually started? Let me ask you a question. Why did you actually start being a coach? Was it because you wanted to have time freedom, location freedom, be able to go anywhere you wanted and actually do anything you truly wanted to do? That's true freedom, and that's why you're an entrepreneur. Am I correct? But now let me guess. You're in a state where you're trading time for money rather than money for time, and you're locked into this heavy schedule, potentially getting on calls, potentially going in person, these long hours. Then you get off your shift and you just feel like going home and putting your face in your bed and just going and just leaving this world. Like, trust me, I get it. I used to be in the exact same position where I was literally just trading my time for money. And if you think about it, the only thing you are not able to get back is your time. Money will always come back, but your time won't. So in this video, I'm going to show you how, as a personal trainer, you can actually, and as a coach, as a fitness coach, how you can stop trading time for money and genuinely live the life you want to live. Genuinely be able to go anywhere you wanted to go. Fly to Florida when you wanted to, fly to the Caribbean, go to Europe, and check your phone and, oh, I made 70K in the last 30 days and I only worked 6 hours a week, 10 hours a week. Right now I'm in Florida at the moment and I chose to just come here, rent a house, see how it is. I feel awesome. I'm able to kind of do what I want, whenever I want, however I want, right? So I'm going to quit my spiel and actually get into the exact logistics of how you, as a coach, can stop trading your one thing that you can never get back for something that you can always get back. So let's jump into it. So I outlined a few different things that basically I indicate as the failure scenario as a coach, specifically in this case pertain to fitness. So if you're a fitness coach, this is going to be pertain to you. And this is honestly, from my perspective, coming from literally being a fitness coach and also now working with coaches and seeing, okay, which clients of ours do really good and which clients of ours just genuinely don't do good, right? It happens. So let me tell you from my perspective what you can kind of see in a sense so that you can change your strategy and actually live how you want to live. So let me jump into this. So number one is lack of a quality offer. So your offer is fundamental to everything you're doing, right? And it's basically very easily pertained to this very small value equation. And I actually got this from $100 million offers, Alex Hormozy. Amazing, amazing, great value from him, which is basically your dream outcome and your perceived likelihood of achievement divided by the time associated with to do that, and the effort and sacrifice and that anguish, the mental anguish potentially involved with that, divided basically equal value. So what you're giving and what you have to give, right? So a lot of people, they'll go into fitness and they'll say, okay, I'm going to provide this thing, training, nutrition package, etc., like the same as everyone else. Let me give you an example. Let's say you wanted to start a taxi company, right? And instead of making something different than everyone else, you just made your taxis more yellow. You notice that all the competitors were making yellow taxis, so you're like, why not? Let's just make more yellow taxis. This is what most personal trainers do, right? So their offer just sucks. Number two, there's no methods of conversion, right? So do you have a proper website? Do you actually have online digital documents? So if I look up your name, if I look up your business, there are things that not only show who you are, but increase my level of desire to potentially work with you as a coach, right? So funnels, things that actually induce desire, right? So And this is bottom of the funnel. This is basic things that just some people just don't have locked in, and it's just holding them back. It's just very fundamental things. So having your website, having a high converting VSL is critical. Critical. No one's doing this as a fitness coach. Everyone's just, oh, I do training. Here's my free consultation. Sign up. No one gives a shit. I'm sorry. Number 3 is not pricing high ticket. So everyone charges by the hour, right? And charging by the hour automatically puts your client and yourself in the frame, basically, of I'm gonna put more time in to get more money. Do you think Jeff Bezos works harder now that he's making like billions a year than he did when he started his business? Do you think he's putting more hours in now? No. So that just totally baffles your argument about how you need to trade time for money, right? So what's the solution to this? It's quite simple. And it kind of all comes down to pricing. So it's basically pricing high ticket. It's basically charging high ticket. If you're able to charge high ticket, this makes a process for the client a lot easier. Let me explain this. When you're charging by the hour, the customer is always thinking, what am I getting out of this person? They're always thinking this. What is the value I'm getting? Is there time delay? Is there effort and sacrifice? They're already thinking of how many sessions they're going to do before they stop with you. They're already thinking that. And then you're automatically thinking, oh, crap. I want to get as many sessions out of this person as I can. Therefore, I need to put more time in. And then now you just get into the flywheel negative feedback loop of working more hours equals more time. Not true at all, right? So you need to charge high ticket, consult people, basically consulting people initially, getting them on that call, and then actually going for that high ticket offer. So here is basically the failure. Here is the success scenarios. I'm going to go through the success stuff a little bit after, but having that high ticket package and not pricing high ticket, in other words, you need to be pricing high ticket as a fitness coach if you actually want to make it out of the trading time for money rat race. Next is not getting any leads. Some people just don't really get leads. They'll rely on some sort of Google reviews. They'll rely on inbound potentially. You need to consistently be getting leads. There's only 4 ways that you can actually get leads, and that's organic posting, cold DMs, warm outreach, or some sort of paid acquisition. Within these, it's basically people coming to you or you going to people, right? Inbound or outbound. You need to be consistently doing these if you're actually wanting to get leads. Some people they don't get that many leads. They may close a few people a month, and they're making 10K a month. Awesome, cool. There's a million other fitness coaches making 10K a month. You're not original. Next is not growing awareness. Like I said before, and this is very simple. If I look up your name, if I look up your company, I should be able to have some sort of free access to some sort of free training, to some sort of free documents, to some sort of free something that I can read about your company, that I can read about the process, that I can understand how you're different. Because I'm going to work with you because I think you're different, correct? So the average consumer basically consumes about 7 to 13 pieces of content before purchasing with you, right? So this can be in the forms of in the form of any sort of YouTube video, in the form of any sort of short form content, long form content, kind of all bundled into one, about 7 to 13, right? So having those documents in place are extremely effective. And if you don't, then you're basically just going to be trading time for money. No money from mama on her birthday party. You're broke, barely getting by, can't buy the car you want. Horrible. Next, lack of salesmanship. Out of every fitness coach I've met hundreds. They all say that they're great salesmen. Then you get them leads, you help them out, and then they say, "Oh, these leads suck." Don't be that person. You just don't know how to sell, and that's okay, right? You have to bring back your ego in order to learn and open your mind in a way, right? So being able to effectively get someone on a call, get someone on a free consult, and close them, like I said, on a high ticket price is crucial. So sales in fitness is totally different than sales in any sort of realm. If you're selling insurance, it's a lot different than selling fitness. Fitness, you're appealing emotionally. and you actually have to appeal like literally 100% of the time emotionally. One day people are going to want cake, the next day they're going to want to lose 50 pounds. It's kind of like an up and down thing that you're going to be having to deal with. So sales, you have to understand sales. This is literally what I'm giving you right here. This is so much value. If you're able to cross out every one of these as an online coach, as a fitness trainer, then you like by nature have to be at least making 50 to 70K a month. No questions. Next is capacity. So this is a very simple process here. If I gave you 100 new clients within the next 100 days, 100 new clients within the next 2 days, you would probably say, hey, like, I wouldn't be able to take these people on. And that's fine. Like, I get that, right? But when you're working a job, right, basically time for money, you can only work as much as you can only work, right? So you're kind of stuck in this feedback loop, right? If you're the only trainer, right, then what are you going to do, right? You're charging on time. So you're restricted by time. So like I said, in other words, you're trading time for money. More work, get more. No one has ever gotten rich with this mindset. You are limited by how many people you can take on within a certain period of time. So getting this up is your goal, right? This is literally everything about this. The more you can take on, the more you can actually make, right? So it's quite simple. You need to have a process in place so that you can take on literally unlimited amount of people within the next few days. Let me give you an example. Think about people who sell courses, right? These people who sell courses, the reason they're so successful and the reason that they can make 100K in 2 days is based on the fact that once the person gets onboarded, it sends them the course and there's no fulfillment other than that. So they can onboard literally unlimited people. Make sense? Next is in-house systems. So nurturing. This has to kind of pertain to sales, but when you're dating a girl, you're not just going to meet her and then 20 minutes later, you're not just going to have kids with her or get married with her, right? There's a warming process. So like I said, having those documents in place, having those PDFs in place, having some sort of trainings in place are good. But once people consume those, they're going to want some sort of in-house system to kind of get their skin in the game. Maybe an email list, right? Maybe you're going to want to reactivate some lists from before, reactivate leads from before. Having a nurturing system in place for people to opt into, right? In-house systems are everything. This is basically the system that kind of pings through all the operations and connects the leads to the main service, right? And last is no concept of marketing as a whole. So whatever business you're in, if you're an entrepreneur, having a decent knowledge of marketing is critical, right? So let me give you an example. If you had a vending machine that you put $1 in and you got $3 out every time, how much money would you put into that vending machine, right? You just put in as much as you want because then you'll get 3x returns every time, right? So it's the same with marketing. And this is the one thing that people don't understand about marketing. They're expecting that it's just free in a sense. Like they're not going to put anything in and they're just going to get something out. With every input, there's an output. And marketing is a system. It's very mathematical. So as a personal trainer, you have to have a fundamental knowledge of marketing to get clients and get leads, right? So putting money in is everything if you actually want to get money out. So this is the failure. If you're okay, there's, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. There's 9. Okay. If you're 3 and below, you are, I'm assuming, making in the range of 5 to 7K a month, right? If you're 7 and above, you're in the range of 15 to 20K. And if you're all of these, you're probably making upwards of 50 to 100K a month, I would assume, right? So what are the success scenarios? So I just basically showed you what people aren't doing in a sense that are limiting their abilities to actually make more as a personal trainer. So what should you do to make these actually successful, live the life you want to live, not be trading time for money, not just be another personal trainer who just trains people out of a gym. Like literally just, you might as well go get a job as a personal trainer at LA Fitness, right? It's pretty simple. So lack of quality offer, you have to be thinking about, I basically limit it to 5 factors. Pricing, right? So if you're charging like a high upfront package, is it a low ticket that opts into a higher package? Is it some sort of something like that? Is there some sort of giveaway, right? Is it free initially? That's intriguing. Is there some sort of risk reversal? If I don't hit X, you get Y. Is there some sort of trial, right? Can I try it out for a little bit, see how I like it? Things to think about in your offer that basically lower their effort and sacrifice, which also in turn increases the value of the offer. Very simple stuff here. Very simple stuff. No methods to conversion. Basically easy methods that I'm interested in your company. Cool. How do I buy your product? Is it simple? Does it make me more interested after I watch a video, after I read your PDF, after I read through your website? Or does it make me kind of less interested? I've been interested in products before that I've read their website and I'm like, I'm not interested anymore, right? So think about this. This is food for thought for you to actually, escape this rat race. Next is not pricing high ticket. So literally pricing upfront is inducive. Like it works with psychology. If you're charging a certain amount, kind of like I said before, with a time restraint, what that pretty much does to the prospect is they're automatically thinking of when to stop, right? Because it's a certain amount. They're only limiting themselves to, okay, I'm only going to do this much a week because I don't want to pay that much, right? If you charge up front, right, and put a time, if you charge, okay, it's 5K, 10K, and then we're going to be done in a year, and I'm going to get you to your goal in a year. Do you see how different psychologically that is? They're automatically more open to the idea of that as a transformation. Next is not getting any leads. Okay. You need a consistent inflow of leads from at least one of the 4 methods already, right? I'm not saying to do all of these. I'd rather you dig deep in one direction and then disperse rather than dig out and then deep. So having one of these that's actually getting you about 75% of your leads should be what you're focusing on. Next, not growing awareness. So no organic posting, no online documents. This is very simple. Just if I looked you up, would I be less interested or more interested? Very simple. Have stuff that provides value. It's simple. It's the law of reciprocity. If you're giving away free stuff, people are going to want to repay you, just psychologically. Lack of salesmanship. Okay, this is quite simple. So you have a meeting with someone, right? This is fitness. You have a meeting with someone. Are you able to actually get them to close on that meeting, on that high ticket package, on whatever? Are you able to dig into pain points? Are you able to follow your sales script to actually get that person to convert? Is your sales script even effective, right? Are you doing any sort of role play? Are you, maybe you have a few other personal training friends, a few other friends in the industry, maybe your family. Are you doing any sort of role play? Are you practicing? Are you sharpening your saw with this, right? Are you understanding the follow-up system? Are you just calling the lead once and never calling them again? Are you sending them a text once and never texting them again? Next, capacity. Simple, you're capped by the amount of people you can take on. So you got to be thinking, okay, fuck trading my time for money. I'm going to charge up front, right? I'm going to delegate and automate. So basically I can get as many people as I can within the next few days, right? So that I'm not potentially subjugated to being in a studio for 12 hours a day. Can I get people to work for me? Can I go online? Food for thought. Again, food for thought, food for thought. Next, in-house systems. So you need to have an email list. Simple. Have an email list that sends a sequence of emails when the prospect initially opts in. Maybe some sort of 30-day, usually what I do is like a 30-day sequence. And then that opts in. Then after the 30 days, it opts them into the original email list that you maybe send an email once every 3 to 4 days, right? Also, reminders. This is so simple. I don't know why no one does this. But if I book an appointment with you, I need reminders for that appointment. I don't want to get a I don't want to get a how do I even explain this? I don't want to have to write that in my notes and never get a reminder about that. There should be reminders warming me up for the week coming up to it. Like literally every day. Last is no concept of marketing. It's very simple. So if you're thinking get results now, then you have to be thinking in the term of delayed gratification. When you're wanting to put on muscle, when you're wanting to put on strength, you're not thinking, okay, how can I put on 20 pounds of muscle in 2 weeks? You're thinking about, okay, I'm going to bulk for 2 years. I'm going to put on some muscle. I'm going to get big, right? I'm going to do a cut. Okay, I'm going to do a 12-week cut, right? I'm not going to do a 2-day cut. That's dumb, right? So when you're thinking about marketing as a whole, right, having that knowledge about what to put in and what to get out and having that delayed gratification aspect of things is good. So I do in this channel provide a lot of knowledge and free resource around kind of the concepts of marketing as a whole, specifically specifically pertain to fitness and having a coaching business in general, and actually the things you're going to know, because obviously there's things that you're not going to need to know that are just like there's no point in knowing. So the things you need to know, watch my channel. I do cover a lot of that stuff. But having a basic knowledge of this is everything, because if you don't, then how are you going to get clients? If you don't get clients, how are you going to, pay your bills? How are you going to pay the studio rent, right? How does that feel to not pay the studio rent? You have to move into your mom's place again, right? So it's just it's a negative feedback loop, and just having those initial skills and that initial concept is literally everything for getting clients and actually having a successful business. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up, shoot me a comment. I'll respond to all the comments. And I appreciate your view. If you made it to the end, you are a special one. And I guarantee you that if you follow these 9 and actually get these locked in as a fitness coach and personal trainer, you will be at 50 to 100K a month. Simple. 50 to 100K a month, period. So if you're at 50 to 100K a month, cool. What will you be able to do with 50 to 100K a month, right? You'll be able to travel. Look, I'm in Florida right now. I'm not from Florida. I'm from Canada, right? It's like 2 degrees in Canada. Here it's like 30, right? So having time freedom, location freedom, being able to do anything you want, having presence. When was the last time you've gone to a restaurant and you're like, I don't want to spend $150 on dinner, right? It's happened before, but that's just a lack of presence because you don't have enough money. So having this money and having this dialed in will allow you to be more present, allow you to enjoy your life more, and just have literally a better quality of life as a personal trainer. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. I appreciate your view.